Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm Sam Badavi coming to you this week from the Triple Crown of Rotting right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. This is gonna be one awesome car.
And I said, it doesn't even run yet. And look at it now, it's amazing.
This is the Triple Crown of Rotting at the Nashville Superspeedway, the best builders, vendors, and show cars around. This show caters to hot rods, custom cars, classics, and muscle cars through 1972 and American trucks made through 1998. This two-day event features live music, food trucks, and drink stops, a celebrity meet and greet, and exclusive top 30 that get announced on Friday evening. This elite group gets to walk in on Saturday with their cars proudly displayed on pit row. I'm here with George, and normally you see Bel Airs all done to the stock form or a resto mod. This one's got a Southern California theme.
A 58 Bel Air, a two-door hardtop. It's an original California car built in Oakland at the Oakland plant.
So it's rust-free?
Yes,
Yep.
It's a 100% rust-free car.
Now, the powertrain, you kept that original?
That's original 283 with a turbo 350 train.
Now, in 58, that's when the Impala also came out. What was the difference between this car and the Impala?
Impala had a bigger roof with a roof vent. The quarters were longer, the deck lid was bigger. Had 6 taillights, this only has 4.
The Southern California theme, this is just something that you've always been in love with.
Mid-60s Southern California custom.
Tell us about the separate trim, the different trim that this
Yeah, it has
vehicle
the Bel Air chrome. Very rare, hard to find. These pieces right here are about $3 grand.
Wow.
If you find them.
Wow.
And they're only on a Bel Air.
And it's only on a 58.
Yes. 57 might be the same, because this
Yeah.
roof is pretty much the same as the 57.
Right.
The Bel Air continued, but this body style was only 1 year body style, 58.
As far as the suspension goes, I see you've lowered it. Did you just use springs?
They're just cut springs
cut
and it
springs.
rides the way it is. No ride.
I love it, man. I love the fact that when you come up to this Bel Air, you see the Southern California look from a distance, that lowrider theme, very cool, and apart from all the other Bel Airs out there that you see
Oh, yeah.
resto modded or restored.
Yes.
Very good job. Here we are in the car capsule booth, and we're talking about protecting your investment, and Wade Carini has something special in the showcase. What you got in there?
So that's a 1933 Ford that was built in California. It was built as a race car, and it was built in the late 40s, and it raced at every Pebble Beach, Del Monte Forest race, as well as at San Francisco Golden Gate Park. It's got great race history. It's sort of a hot rod and a race car all in one.
You would have never thought it's a race car.
Yeah, it is. Real famous race car. I've had that car for about 13 years, and it looks that way because it's in the car capsule all the time.
Yep.
I mean, that's a black car, and it's so hard to keep that car clean. You park that in the garage, and it's dusty in 2 minutes.
Yep.
You park in the car capsule, absolutely perfect every time I go to use it.
Yeah, well, this is 360 protection, top, bottom, sides. And last, we're at the Triple Crown of Rotting here. We went through a bad storm. I mean, it was raining sideways, and we got here in the morning, car was completely dry.
Completely dry,
And
dust-free.
all these other cars out here soaked and wet and cleaning, and you pull this black car out, it looks like the day you put it in, and dry.
That's what Car Capsule does as a protection investment, 24/7, 365.
Listen, you invested so much in your car. I mean, some of these hot rods here and these custom cars, there's a huge amount of money invested in it. Why wouldn't you want to protect that investment?
I'm getting to the age where it's hard to wash a car anymore. It hurts. So the least amount of times you have to wash that car, the better, right? We all know how awesome the Edelbrock brand is. Check out the other companies underneath their umbrella. You guys have seen me work with them on Sam's Garage. We'll be right back with more of the Lokar Car Show.
Here at Lokar, we have really been working hard. We are developing superchargers now. I'm just kidding. We are not developing superchargers. We are doing the top. This is an OE top here, kind of bland. You know, you do have the polished on it, but it's kind of bland. So we have our fully machined piece made here, you know, US. We do have it with and without the emblem. We do use GM CAD, as you can kind of see here, some of our 3D print stuff that we had done just to make sure the OE gasket fits. But like I said, we use all GM CAD. Everything is just absolutely spot on this. It looks the part. So this is part of our S Classic line of products. This looks similar to like the 63 Fuelie intake that we do for it, but it's larger scale. That's kind of why we try to keep the same look, because that 63 Fuelie is pretty iconic. Just check us out for new developments. We are going to have some different variations off of this lid. Check the S Classic line out at lokar.com.
Well, it's time to have these guys build me an engine because I just picked up a 1968 Pontiac Catalina. Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show, brought to you by Car Capsule. Hellcat engine underneath there.
Yeah, making right around 1,000 horsepower.
I'm sure.
Yeah, again, the idea was more of a sports car. That's why it's got big horsepower, 6 speeds, 4-wheel independent suspension with huge brakes. Again, it's a lot of wrong to make right.
Yeah, and it's a low numbers car. You said very rare.
Yeah, so they originally produced 522 of these in '59. It's the rarest Chrysler 300 of all the models ever made. And they say there's about 118 left. We say there's 117 left now. The idea of the car to us, in essence, he wanted a 57 to 59 Chrysler 300. He was really attached to the idea, the style, kind of the history of the car, in essence. He had a new 300 too, so originally the plan was kind of to have like an old version and a new, but then make a match, similar styling, stuff like that. So we get into design and rendering, and I mean, I typically have some pretty wild ideas, so we kind of took it and ran, and it kind of into what you see now, I guess. So
Carbon fiber wheels, cantilevers, airbag suspension in the rear. The package tray is what you're seeing. I mean, you never see that, right?
Oh, it's too cool to cover up.
It's way too cool, absolutely.
I like the Pro Touring style, and nothing's really ever been done like that on a big, thin cruiser style car.
Yep.
But we wanted to take it a little further, and we wanted to push it more onto like the exotic realm, if you will. So you look at the exotic cars, and they're not going to have chrome and fancy bits like that. So we wanted to make sure the car was aggressive, but some of the car really lended itself. It needed to have obviously the bumpers and some of the trim pieces. So we wanted to tone those down.
I'm here with Jim, Classic Performance Products, here at the Triple Crown of Rotting. He's the owner and CEO of CPP. You may know him as that. Now tell us what got you started in this industry.
Well, I grew up in the industry. Actually, my dad had a parts company way back in the early 70s. He specialized more in restoration parts, which was fun, and we learned a lot about restoring vehicles. But for me, I really loved the performance element. So as I got older and just started working on the steering and the suspension and brakes, I gravitated to this product line, which was a little more fun than door handles and chrome bumpers and installing windshield weather strip. This is mechanical, it's a lot more fun.
You give everybody out there like myself to build cars an opportunity to get our jobs done because of all the variety of parts that you have for these vehicles.
We're constantly pushing the envelope. We started with steering, brakes, and suspension, but that's just evolved. As the industry changes and evolves, and there's needs out there, fuel systems, coilover suspension, air ride. This now we're getting into all the third members and the housings and building really nice, easy to install kits. So the guy at home that has to buy a lot of parts, they start working on their projects and they feel defeated because they can't get things finished. Well, we try to get them over the finish line. Nothing feels better than driving your own hot rod that you built, your fingerprints are on, and you get to take it out to a show.
I'm here with Bob Florin, an icon in the industry with ARP. We'll be right back with more of the Lokar Car Show brought to you by Car Capsule. I'm here with Brian at the Lokar booth. Check out their new top to the LT4 Supercharger. That is one awesome piece. Welcome back to more of the Lokar Car Show brought to you by Car Capsule.
1963 Volkswagen double cab.
I did not know they made it a truck, and it's a double cab. So this would be today's crew cab truck.
Yes.
That is so cool. The work
truck.
you've done to it, man. How long did it take you to do it?
We were on it 6 years, off and on, 6 years.
Do you have your own shop?
No, this is a hobby.
Really?
Yeah, this is a hobby for us. We do this on, spare time, and
Yeah.
just something for the family to do.
So are you a Volkswagen guy? Or
Yes, we're all Volkswagen family. Actually, my parents, that's what they drove. Was
Wow, you got the Porsche wheels on
Porsche
there.
with
And the
front.
motor in the back, you did such a nice job with the engine bay.
Porsche motor as well.
Porsche motor.
Correct.
How many, what's the displacement on it?
That's a 2054, about 180 horsepower. Nothing too crazy, but it'll push it.
That is so cool. So underneath the chassis is original to the vehicle?
The chassis is original to the vehicle, just modified, boxed in. We built pans to keep it from twisting.
Yeah.
It's fully chromed on the bottom. This had a wall.
Okay.
And we cut the wall out and put the section so that way we can walk through the middle. And they did make a walk-through section on buses.
Right.
So we just made our own. The roof, we put it on as well. This is off of a bus.
Because of the windows.
Because of the windows, the rag top, and all that stuff.
So of almost 4,000 cars, you're only going to see one of these. And I have to come ask Bo about it. This thing's absolutely beautiful.
We had a guy come in and he had an idea for a car. He's an engine builder. So he built this little LS, no turbo, no blower, just a naturally aspirated, 607 horse. And his dad had one of these, Mercedes. We took it all apart. It was just a regular rusty, Mercedes we picked up. So it's got Art Morrison, front and rear, bikini clip. We continued on, made a frame in the middle, tube chassis down the center there's a Tremec 6-speed in there. We got these Forge Line wheels. That's who we're out here with today at the show. And then we wanted to do the flares. And then nowadays, back then it was 15-inch wheels. Now they're 18s and 20s. So the flares really turned out pretty big. And at first we were kind of worried what it was going to look like. But then we got done. It's killer. Yeah, it really the rest of the car is all Mercedes. All the upper parts. We tucked the bumper. We put the rally lights on. We made a custom trim and exhaust down there, autocross. And he kind of wanted to start doing that. Well, then he got the bug, and he's been racing this Optima Challenge, Road America with this.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So he kind of retired this from racing here last year, and then we went over and cleaned up all the road rash and resprayed it, and then brought it back out.
We are here with Eddie in the AMD booth, Auto Metal Direct, and what a spread they got here. This Charger, tell me about that.
So this gentleman, his customer had his client, they're not customers, they're client, they become family, had a wrecked 2016 Hellcat. And he's like, well, what do? It's wrecked. They came up with this insane idea to put a 69 Charger body on it. So they used all of our panels. He had to modify some of them. If you're a real Mopar guy, you can tell what he did. If not, man, it looks the same. And the car still thinks it's 2016. So if he throws an engine code, he goes to the dealer, they plug it in, it still thinks it's a 2016. The car never did not run. It always ran. I mean, it's crazy.
And you guys at AMD sell all the components you need to build your own Charger.
Absolutely.
Out of the box.
All the Mopars, Chevy, GM truck, because they've taken over the world. Ford, we're moving into a lot of the truck stuff. So we're doing Ford bump side and dent side now. That'll be out soon. We're doing a lot of prototyping. We've got the bumpers and stuff. A ton of the cars we've done. First gen Camaro, shoebox Novas, all that stuff. A little bit of everything, man.
Like that square body cab right there.
Yes, we're super proud of this. So yeah, that square body, it's the first one. All of our parts are approved by GM. It is the first one that we put together. It's the first one in the country, actually. And man, we make every single part for it. We're teaming up with other local builders because we can't assemble the cab in-house, but we have square body headquarters, and we're working with a couple people that have already contacted us. We want to put the cabs together.
I am here with Greg and Steve. They're the two promoters of the Corvette Expo, Chevys in the Smokies. Don't miss it, coming in March 2025 in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We'll be right back with more of the Lokar Car Show, brought to you by Car Capsule. Check it out, I got two good friends from Georgia coming all the way up here to this show. They brought their awesome cars. Welcome back to the Triple Crown of Rotting, brought to you by Car Capsule. Nice car, Eddie, I like it. Anytime you're making horsepower, you're going to create heat. But they're not only about heat management, they're also about sound management.
like this you got here. Look what a difference that little piece makes on this,
with the drumstick.
One little piece. What a
Just little
difference.
piece. The real main new thing in terms of the sound control side, because we kind of have it split up here. We have the sound control stuff over here, heat over there. So on the sound control side of things, it's going to be our ATEC, which that stands for Advanced Thermal Acoustic Coating. And as you can see on that floor pan right there, we have kind of coated half of it to give you a look at it. We recommend about 2 to 3 layers at least to put down on there. But the big thing you see in the aftermarket are the options are either focused on one or the other, heat or sound, not together. So we kind of took that, put it together, and then released the coating. So that's a great option if you're doing restorations. A lot of the builders have it on their cars here. We also have the spray gun that you get it with. So you can spray it on, you can brush it on, kind of multi-use.
So it's both items in one tub.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
Like you don't have to do 2 separate items.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah, you just give it a nice easy mix before, and then you're good to go.
That is cool.
The newest thing would be our Gen 3 turbo blanket, turbo shields, if you want to call them that. We have our Onyx finish, which is the black, and then the general titanium, which we've had for a while. If you're working with a real specific tuner, they can start to show you the true difference that it makes, but it takes the right person to kind of pull that data.
Well, that's huge. Huge in the import world.
Yeah.
We're going to be building 2 2JZs, Supra, and an SC300 on Sam's Garage, which I'm going to be using your blankets for. A lot of little things that make this so special.
This is really just a 1985 square body, right? At the first blush, that's what the customer wanted it to look like, is a square body, but we put a lot of little subtle changes into this thing that a lot of people won't notice it just looking at it, but when you start to walk around and show people, they're like, whoa, a lot has been different. So,
like the windshield?
Yeah, like the windshield. So the customer didn't want any rubber gaskets. We did a flush mount windshield, and then worried about the wind, we actually added a little piece of metal right here so we could deflect the wind away from getting right into the cracks. So we could try to avoid some wind noise. We got rid of the mirrors right here on the bottom. On both sides, you've got cameras, right? And so when you hit the blinker switch, you've got, you can see on the side of your truck on your stereo.
Yeah, you see it right on the screen.
Right on the screen.
That's a nice touch. And you got no blind spots because you got it from the front. You can see the whole side of the car.
The whole side, you have no blind spots. The truck has been coined and named Red Velvet from the very beginning. If you think of red velvet cake and the slices of white that's in it, right? And the impact stripes, right? Then we thought, well, we could do hard lines, but everybody does that. So what if we just did some nice red, soft lines in here and plumb it creatively so it looks very non-existent. So it was kind of fun to do.
Very nice. And you added the little feature to the rear fender as well as the front so it matches?
We did, yeah, because typically on a square body, there's a little bit of a fender flare, but it's not on the rear. And so we put a little 3/4 inch fender flare to the rear.
I am here with Gary Case. He's one of the 2 promoters of the Triple Crown of Rotting here in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is only the 2nd year.
It's the 2nd year for it, and we've definitely set all kinds of records. As far as participants, we've doubled what we had last year here. We have 162 automotive-only related exhibitors here. We have a waiting list for next year for exhibitors. We have some of the best cars in the country here, the best builders, and it's just share the rides where participants could get in one of Brian Finch's race trucks. He had 12 of them out here. He set a record. Brian travels all over the country doing ride shares where spectators or participants can get in the passenger seat and ride along for the ultimate thrill ride or like through a road course. The Gary Sinise Foundation that we're doing, the all carbon fiber E-Rod truck, they did 67 rides. They were only scheduled to do 20 rides, piling people in there. And we raised all that money for the Gary Sinise Foundation.
That's so.
Our veteran, our disabled, military, our first responders, and our defenders.
That is really cool.
We have the pinstripe auction going on.
Yeah.
Over 51 pinstripers from all over the United States coming to do auctions twice a day. All of that money, 100% of it goes to Speedway Children's Charities to help abused and deprived children.
Yeah, you got to be proud of yourself.
We are.
You know?
We're proud of the support we get from the automotive aftermarket.
Some of the top names in the industry get to award vehicles of their choice. No matter what kind of ride you have, you'll find all the best vendors ready to answer your questions and help you get the best parts for your build. The best part of this show is the camaraderie. Car people are great people, and it's great seeing everyone get together and have so much fun. They're also generous people and raise a lot of money for the Gary Sinise Foundation. This money helps the defenders of our country, our veterans, first responders, and their families. Come be a part of this incredible show next September in Nashville, Tennessee.
What an awesome show. In only its 2nd year, we got 4,000 cars. the Speedway is the perfect venue for this show. You guys got to check it out. The who's who of every car, builder, model, everyone is here. So put this on your roster, the Triple Crown of Rotting, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. For me, that's a wrap.